Uh-oh. Yikes. Oh, wait. I didn't my OC for your trains models yet. Uh-oh. Run away! Oh. Wait, I disappeared. I'm back again. I disappeared. I'm back again. What's going on over here in Discord? Die. Yes, I'm gonna go away. You died again. Oh. You'll be quiet, Charlie. You 8-year-old painted me in your mom's push. Yeah. Yo. Yeah. This is my fiance, son Charlie. He's an 8-year-old annoying pain in the butt. And the 8-year-old pain in the butt is soon to be my stepson. Okay. Yes, me and my fiance Emily are getting married next month. Sis. You hear me? Did you hear me, sis? I need other sperms. Yes, I'm smoking. You can kill me, okay? Yeah, I haven't seen Zippy in a minute. Even when I'm over there, 500 miles. I haven't seen Zippy. I've always seen Bob's. Sis, what do you think of me and my fiance Emma getting married next month? I still need a second. Not gonna repeat that word. Gordon. Even though I could have been a smart butt, but I'm not going to. say was stop being mean. I'd like for you two to talk. But yeah. Sis, you haven't answered my question.
You don't want to go say hi? I got somebody on the phone.
My fiancée Emily getting married next month.
You don't want to go say hi? Dumbass, I'll give you kisses. Come on. Mouse. Come on. Meow. Goodness, come here. Come here, boy. Come to mama. Come here, mamacita. Come on, come say hi. You want to say hi to you? Thomas, come on. Come here, boy.
Where did you go? My sis has left the building. I'll be right back. Wait, there's not getting on me, sis.
Thomas! Daniel's on the phone. Come here. Daniel wants to speak to you. Come on, Thomas. Meow. Come here.
My sister's trying to get her cat Thomas into the room.
Come here.
Thomas!
Thomas, he wants to say hi to you.
Kitty, Thomas! Come here. What kind of man?
Thomas, why are you walking away? Thomas, he's right here. Meows. That's right. She just want to learn you.
Sis, let me call you back in a little bit, okay? Call you back in a little bit. Okay. Bye for now.
Alright, what's the episode?
As the cavalcade approached the level crossing, Stan began giving more encouragement to his.
Life is expensive. Quality tools don't have to be. See why over 40 million.
To his brother.
We're almost there. Now concentrate on me, and only me. You can do it this time. I believe in you.
Glad somebody does.
We all do. Believe me, Dave. I've been through to Belgrade plenty of times. So is Barry and Ryan and Lino and everyone else. Just think, you'll finally be able to see what lies beyond. And trust me, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, I've heard what the others have said.
And consider this. What will Hannah say when she hears about what you've achieved? Think of that.
Yeah, she would be proud of me, wouldn't she?
And Brian and Raymond.
And Zeke. I really let him down on that first train, you know.
And you're gonna make it up to him.
Yes. Dave, who was facing forward, saw that Barry had disappeared into the depths of Colhapper Tunnel at this point, having slowed right down and whistled to indicate that he was going in. Dave twitched a little, but Stan held strong.
It's only a short distance, Dave. We're helping Barry today, aren't we? Doing some good for the benefit of the railway too. These materials are going to help get the railway back to the main line one day, and you'll be able to go there too.
Not that I'm too worried about that, but if this helps everyone else...
It helps you too. Just because this will eventually lead to a mainline connection doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go mainline. Anyway, the scenery beyond here is gorgeous, so I've been told. Here we go. Think of me, think of Hannah, and everyone else that you love. They'll be so proud of you.
Dave didn't respond as they slowly edged into the tunnel. He had initially been a little jittery, but seeing that Barry was clearly not experiencing any problems, and seeing the encouraging and excited look on Stan's smokebox, gave Dave all the encouragement he needed to finally take the plunge and go further than he had ever gone before. The darkness of the tunnel initially worried Dave, but Stan spoke up once again.
See, Dave? It isn't that bad, is it?
It's just like any other tunnel I've been through.
Exactly. It's perfectly safe. We're going to make it through just fine. Just like any other tunnel. And just like every other time I've been through here.
I know. I can do this. I can. Hang on. David heard Barry whistling, which was their indication that he was through to the other side. This tunnel isn't very long at all, is it?
I told you it wasn't. Look.
Dave looked ahead, seeing daylight streaming into the tunnel. They were almost through.
Come on, Dave, one final push. We're there.
I can see it. Look! Stan's tender had emerged into the sunlight, followed by Stan himself, and then Dave felt the warmth on his smokebox as he, finally, after all this time, emerged on the other side of Colhapper Tunnel. Stan was ecstatic.
Dave, look! You've done it!
I'm through! I made it! And nothing bad happened! I can't believe it!
I knew you could do it. Well fucking done, mate. I'm so proud of you.
Not as proud of me as I am. Wow! Look at it! Dave began looking around at the cutting that they were in. It was magnificent. Why did I let my fear engulf me so? This is amazing! It's such a different atmosphere to the rest of the railway. I love it.
It is different, isn't it? We should come into Belgrave in a moment, I think.
They did. Barry had already cleared the platform by the time the two Black Fives reached it. Wow, it's another island platform, just like Manston 4. Gives me old Great Central Railway vibes. And it's been beautifully restored too. No wonder the others like coming here so much.
See what you've been missing out on?
Yeah, man, it's fantastic. And I did it. Thanks to you, Stan. You really are the best brother an engine could ask for.
Hey, you helped me out all those years ago, in my early days on New Wessex. You stood up for me when the other engines berated me. We look out for each other, Dave. That's what brothers are for.
The two engines soon stopped, just at the end of the platform. They simmered there for a while, whilst the men unloaded the wagons, ready for another afternoon of labouring. Soon, it was time to leave. Stan made a suggestion.
Did you want to wait in the loop, Dave? So that you can go in the tunnel last again? And go through with Barry?
No. Do you know what? No. I want to go through first. I want to triumphantly lead the way back to Colhapper. I want to prove to myself that I'll be able to head a train through the tunnel, tender first or otherwise.
All right. I'll be right here with you, okay?
Okay. Barry blew his whistle again and began to push. Taken slightly by surprise, Stan and Dave began easing the train back through the platform and back towards the tunnel. Stan needn't have worried. Dave was full of determination to lead the way, and he did so this time with little encouragement needed from Stan as they slowly descended the tunnel back to more familiar lines beyond. Dave emerged a minute later, smiling broadly as Stan grinned back, his long task of trying to assist his brother with his fear finally at a conclusion. At Cohapa, Dave and Stan were surprised to find that Andy, Gordon, and Clyde were waiting for them in the yard. They didn't have time to take in their cries of joy as they helped Barry get the train into a position that the big freight engine could run round, ready for the return trip to Mirku. Once done, Barry smiled at Dave.
So, did you manage then? I didn't see whether...
Yeah, I did.
Bloody marvellous. Massive congratulations has to be given to you, my fellow trooper. Well done. Barry is most pleased he was able to help.
You were, Barry. Thank you.
That's quite all right. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I've got to return these trucks to the hellspawn from which they crawled out of. I wish you both a pleasant hunting trip. Thanks for coming. All the best.
And without further ado, Barry rolled off towards the turntable so that he could be turned. Once he and his long train were out of sight, the two stallion machines headed over to the sheds to see the others, all beaming at them. I assume you've all heard then?
Of course we did. Why do you think we made our way here? For coffee and biscuits?
Stan told us yesterday that you would be trying to conquer your tunnel fears this afternoon, and we thought it would be appropriate to come and give you a welcome back. We assume, of course, that you made a successful excursion into the tunnel.
We did. Dave was amazing. He really was.
Nicely done, Dave. We all knew you could make it through at some point. Looks like Stan's plans have worked then.
Stan's the man, all right. A hearty congratulations all round then. How did it feel, Dave? It was scary at first, but Stan got me through.
Some brotherly love goes a long way, it seems. We're very proud of what you've achieved today, Dave. Well done, both of you.
Stan and Dave grinned at each other, but suddenly Dave frowned and began to reverse.
You all right, dude?
Yeah, you lot just made me realise. I've got to go and tell Hannah. Thanks, guys.
See you in a bit.
As Dave pressed onwards towards the museum, Clyde smiled.
I must admit, Stan, I'm impressed. You managed to help your brother tackle a very serious phobia. Just how did you do it?
Determination and a drive to do the right thing for someone I care about. I love Dave very much, and I couldn't bear to see him so unhappy with himself. Blimey, really shows what a bond you two have. It's wholesome to say the least.
I never had this kind of bond with my brothers and sisters. Not that I knew them very well, of course. Makes me wish that I had tried to have a better connection with them. But almost as important are my friends back home, and I believe that I would do anything to help them nowadays. Very similar in fashion to what I've witnessed here today. It makes me very proud to see such camaraderie among family.
Aye, none of my siblings ever gave much of a hoot about me when I was a diesel. And now, of course, I'm a lone wolf amongst the wild. The only one of his type in existence anymore.
Really? Please, do tell me more.
Put some excitement back in your life with a new 2023 Kia Forte. Its bold design will draw attention, while Forte's powerful engine options and track-inspired driving experience will put a smile on your face. Make one yours today with a fantastic offer. Click now to view our inventory.
If your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms are stopping you in your tracks, choose Stelara from the start and move toward lasting remission. Stellara can provide relief after the first dose, and only Stellara offers injections every 2 months, which you may be able to give yourself at home after just one IV dose. So instead of symptoms leaving you stuck with doubt, you can keep going with fewer flare-ups.
Stellara may increase your risk of infections, some serious, and cancer. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've had an infection, flu-like symptoms, sores, new skin growths, have had cancer, or if you need a vaccine. PRES, a rare potentially fatal brain condition, may be possible. Some serious allergic reactions and lung inflammation can occur.
Feel unstoppable. Ask your doctor how lasting remission can start with Stellara. Janssen can help you explore cost support options.
Dave approached the museum in high spirits and was shocked to find that a whole bunch of engines were waiting for him outside the building, including Hannah, Trip, Brian, and Abomination, who had all been brought outside. Raymond, Theo, and Otto were also present. They all cheered as Dave approached, slightly overwhelming him as he stopped. Stan told us what was going on. We knew you'd want to make a beeline for the museum if all went well. I assume it did. Yeah, it did. Oh, congratulations, Dave. We all believed in you. We asked if we could come outside to see you, but on the pretense of getting some fresh air, obviously. The museum people weren't too happy, but we got them to allow it anyway. Well done, Dave. It went all right then. You got through and saw the extension. Yeah, man, it was great. I can't believe what I've been missing on the other side of that tunnel. We still haven't been able to go to the other side yet, but we want to someday. And you've conquered your fear at long last. This calls for a celebration, I feel. Drinks, anyone? Theo and Otto disappeared around the corner, emerging a moment later with some beer tankers. Everybody had soon had a couple of drinks, and after that, the atmosphere was light and cheerful, as Dave remained the centre of attention as the day wore on, as everybody celebrated his great achievement. As evening approached, the engines began to disperse. Raymond helped Hannah, Trip, Brian, and Abomination back into the museum, before heading back towards Mirku with Dave in tow, who by this point was very sloshed and very tired. Soon, all of the engines were back in their rightful places, except for Theo and Otto. You know, I think that now would be the perfect time to begin our little investigation, Nathaniel. Investigation? You mean, yes, it's time to see what's really going on inside Mr. Smash's works. We could easily sneak in tonight and see what's what.
Wow.
Excellent idea, Theodore. And with the others all hammered, they're not going to know what we're up to. Come on, let's see if we can find a way in. Unfortunately for the twins, their words had carried towards the works and towards a small shed where two engines stood. They had no intention of letting the twins anywhere near the works and acted quickly. Before the twins could reach the points leading to the traverser outside of Character Smash Limited, Buzz and Mr. B had intercepted them, looking rather stern.
And just what do you two think you're doing?
The works is closed. Oh, hello, friends. We were just curious about how renovations were going. Perhaps have a little peek inside and...
Like I said, the works is closed. Staff only.
So why is Mr. B here?
I'm an employee, and Mr. Smash gave me permission to help out with the renovation work.
Well, why can't we help?
Because it's unsafe for anyone without the proper safety training to be inside the building right now.
And no offense, guys, but your steam engines? You'll belch too much smoke around the inside of the building and cause ash and cinders to spread all around the place.
Then we'll have our fires dampened down and cool. Then we could come in, no?
Look, the works is out of bounds, and you two are not coming in.
By now, the twins dropped all pretense and went on the offensive. Tell us what's going on in there. Obviously, there's something in there that you two don't want us to see.
Even if that is the case, we're not letting you in.
Let us in.
No.
Don't make us force our way in.
Well, I would love to see you try.
We will. Buzz is a pushover anyway. We've just got to wait for him to run out of juice.
Joke's on you, I'm fully charged.
I am coming through.
You shall not pass!
The twins were about to move forwards when another voice boomed out of the works. Who's there? Ah, Theo, Otto. I did wonder when I might see you two, poking your smoke boxes in when they're not wanted. Mr. Smash, please let us in. We want to see what's going on in there. And don't tell us it's just renovations. It is just renovations. Now screw off, you two. You ain't coming in. This building is off limits. But, no buts. You two are trespassing on my property, and you've already been told that the shop floor is unsafe. You can come in when the works on the building is complete. Now beat it.
Okay, back to work.
Out of your neck. It's good to go.
Advil dual action fights pain two ways. Advil targets pain at the source. Acetaminophen blocks pain signals. Advil dual action.
Theo and Otto glanced nervously at each other, seeing the stern look on Mr. Smash's face. They backed away sheepishly, whilst Mr. B and Buzz stared after them. They didn't get any closer, did they?
No, they did.
They're not going to give up, sir. I can tell.
I'm aware of that, and we're going to give them exactly what they want. Listen up. He leaned in closer to the two engines, whispering his idea to them as the twins disappeared from sight. Theo and Otto had soon come up with an idea to blag their way into the works. The week after their encounter with Mr. Smash and his entourage, the twins were being prepared for work, but they had no intention of working that morning. Ooh, I don't feel well. Neither do I. I feel sick. The crews checked them over, and a few minutes later, they spoke to the twins.
Sick, you say?
Yeah, terribly ill. I don't think I'm going to be able to work today. I don't think I'm going to be able to either. Oh, woe is me. Whatever will we do? The demonstration shunting won't do itself.
What else can we do? We must get the shunting done. There is nothing else for it. We can have to ask Mr. Smash to have a look at them.
I hope he won't mind, especially as there's rain forecast.
You might have to put them in the works to check them over.
The twins continued to feign illness, but smirked at each other at these words. The crews walked off towards the mess room, whilst the twins chuckled to themselves. Unbeknownst to them, the crews were in on Mr. Smash's grand scheme, and soon had let him know that the twins were ready to come to the works. Buzz appeared a short time later, grimacing at the twins, who, again, tried to look as innocent as possible. Buzz whispered to them,
I know that you two are faking it.
Prove it in court, Buzz. Now, would you kindly escort us to the works? We really do need to be seen to. Buzz said no more as he led the twins down the hill and towards the junction. At the works, Mr. Smash stood outside, waiting for the arrival of the pesky twins as rain began to fall. Mr. B was there too. He whispered to Mr. Smash.
Do you really think this will work?
Of course it will. Now remember, look cross and skeptical.
That's how I always look.
Buzz rolled up to them and, per the plan, spoke crossly to his colleague and owner.
Here you are, sir. 2 ill tank engines.
He spoke menacingly to the twins.
I hope he takes you to bits and mixes up your parts.
I might very well do that. Thank you, Buzz. Now, what's wrong with you two? We're very ill, Mr. Smash. I'm feeling really faint, sir. Feel like I might have to go under at any moment. This could be life-threatening. Very well. Come on in then, you nosy little cretins. I don't want to get wet whilst I look you over. The twins grinned at each other as Buzz pulled them inside. They were finally about to discover what the big secret of Caracas Smash Limited was. Was it a restoration project? Was he hiding a fugitive from British Rail? Was there perhaps some new and previously unknown technology being developed here? But as they looked around at the interior of the building, their hopes were dashed. What the? The works was quiet and empty, completely devoid of rolling stock. Nothing was there, besides a few pieces of machinery and various other items littering the floor. The twins looked very cross, and Buzz stopped. There's nothing here! No secret experiments! No fugitives! Nothing out of place at all!
We told you! We're just renovating the workshop.
But you said it was dangerous for us to come in here!
It is! We're testing the gantry crane. It nearly came out of its guide rails last night.
So, you guys really have just been renovating the works?
Yes, you idiots!
Oh. Well, in that case, I'm feeling a lot better now, aren't you, Theodore? I am indeed, Nathaniel. I think we might be right, you know. I reckon we could go back to work.
Of course you could.
I don't think so, fellas. What? What do you mean? We feel fine now.
Yeah.
Well, you've interrupted our restoration
Chicken,
work,
bacon,
and
ranch
Zeke has
pizza,
agreed
right?
that I should really take you both to
Yeah.
pieces and put...
Okay. You want dessert?
you back together to see what's actually wrong with you. So, if you don't mind, we're fine. We don't need to be taken apart. We lied, okay? We lied so we could get in here. We just wanted to see what you lot were being so secretive about. Please, let us go. I guess I could. Means I could get back to looking at the gantry crane. All right, Buzz. Take them away.
Sure thing, sir.
Once outside, the twins were eager to scarper back to the safety of Soma. They looked at Mr. B, who was about to disappear back into the works. Hey, Mr. B, you couldn't take us back to Soma, could you?
No.
Why?
I have work to do. Besides, I don't want to go out today. Too wet. Have fun sitting out here until you've been steamed up by your crews in this unpleasant rain. Hey, there's a storm coming too. Goodbye.
And with that, Mr. B disappeared back inside the building, leaving Theo and Otto to sit in the pouring rain for the next few hours, whilst their crews got them up to working pressure. As soon as they were ready, they ran away quickly, deciding to give Mr. Smash, Buzz, and Mr. B a wide berth from that point onwards.
For a limited
time only, get an Ashley Sleep Queen mattress for as low as $2.99, delivered right to your door in days, not weeks. Shop America's #1 furniture and mattress store for better sleep and savings. Click the link to find your local Ashley store or shop online today.
Blonde Absolute Ultraviolet Care for bleached hair with hyaluronic acid. You dare, we care. Karis does.
As the summer drew to a close, the time came for Gordon to return to his home on the North Western Railway so that he could undergo his next overhaul. On his final night on the railway, he stood proudly among the engines at Mircoombe, happily chatting into the late hours, yet not quite appreciating how much that they would miss their new famous friend. The following morning, Gordon was ready. He addressed the engines one last time before Alan shunted him over to the lorry that would take him home. I would just like to take the time to truly thank you all for making my visit an enjoyable one. It isn't often that I am allowed to leave my home railway, but this trip has really been a pleasant one, and it's thanks to the great company that I have kept with all of you over the past months. I will, of course, tell my friends back home what a wonderful bunch you all are, and I will hopefully get to see your two Bully Pacifics at some point before or after my overhaul. With that, I bid you all farewell, and I hope that I see you all again someday. The engines in the yard cheered as Alan slowly and proudly moved Gordon out of the motive power depot and off towards the station. Gordon smiled to himself as he went, glad that he had visited such a wonderful little railway. With Gordon gone, the engines began picking up the slack as the colder weather arrived. One engine, however, appeared to be missing out on all the good jobs. Andy was disappointed to learn that he had been rostered onto simple tasks such as empty stock movements and station piloting. He couldn't help but feel bitter at these very lame and untaxing duties, and felt that this was a deliberate action, either by the society or by Zeke Dark himself. Knowing that it was useless asking the society, he decided to confront Zeke about it the next time he saw him, and one morning his opportunity came, when Zeke happened to be in the yard at Mircoombe, speaking to his own engines about jobs for the day. Are you sure that's all right with you, Ed? I know that passenger shuttles on the Soma branch aren't really your cup of tea, but I need Lino this morning to undertake some track inspections with his saloon. Yeah, that's cool with me. Thank you. I think that pretty much covers all of our bases at the moment, and...
Zeke, can I ask something?
Sure. What's wrong, Andy? Andy could feel the other engines staring at him, but decided to ask the question anyway.
Zeke, I can't help but notice you haven't been assigning the society, and by proxy me, with any, shall we say, meaningful work at the moment. Is there a particular reason for that?
Zeke considered for a moment before he replied. I don't understand what you mean by that, Andy. Are you trying to tell me that you see carriage heating duties as an unimportant task?
Not exactly, but you haven't put me on a passenger train for a while, and I haven't been asked to take any freight trains either. Even if the other engines are busy, what gives?
All right, Andy. Let me level with you. Since the incident with Goose, I have been taking a very long, hard look at the society, what it does, and where I stand with them. And the fact of the matter is that, well,
Yes.
Andy, please don't make me say this. The other engines remained dead silent, staring between Zeke and
There we go!
Second.
Finally! Tired.
You might,
The hot honey adds that perfect sweet heat. Sheesh.
you might as well. The other humans don't have a problem spitting in my grills and claiming it's polished. So come on, tell me, why are you deliberately giving me the least taxing jobs on the line, Zeke?
Fine. I'm not mustering you onto duties because your availability is incredibly poor. But you already know that, don't you? I can tell that you already know. But I'm not blaming you personally, not at all. It is the society and their lack of care for you that has caused this, Andy. If I'm honest, I just don't want to risk rostering you onto a service if it leads to another breakdown. You've already had 7 failures in the past month alone. What if the society can't fix the next one? Then what? I'm already questioning their work ethic and the way that they continue to operate. My point is, Andy, that I'm trying to protect your well-being, at least until the society can afford to repair you properly.
But you don't understand, Zeke. We've got no money. Membership is at rock bottom. We're struggling to pay back our debts, and we've already lost a good engine in Goose. Please, just give me a chance to prove my worth.
Zeke considered the pleading diesel for a moment, while the other engine continued to gawk at them. Finally, he made a decision. Okay, Andy. How about this? There's some wagons that need delivering to Belgrade this afternoon. The men want to do some more work on the railhead there. Take that train there, then bring the empties back without incident, and I'll see about upping the society's contracts again. Do you think you can do that?
I will do it. You wait and see. I won't let you down.
I honestly hope not, Andy. And with that, Andy slowly rolled off towards the goods shed, determined to prove that he was not a failure on wheels. Of course, the downward journey proved to be no issue for Andy as he coasted down the long inclines, only having to work hard at Axley and Colhapper. By this time, he was feeling good.
I'll show him I can do this.
He continued at slow speed through Colhapper Station and began to psych himself up for the run through the incline at Colhapper Tunnel. He soon reached it, revving his engine up to full load without any issues, despite a slight pain in his transmission. But true to his word, he made it without incident to Belgrave Station, where he rested after shunting the trucks up to the worksite. Now it was time for the part Andy was slightly nervous about, having to go back to Meercombe via the inclines at Woolchurch and Upway. Things started well enough as he made his way through Colhapper, Gallen Junction, and Axley. But on the climb towards Lake, he began to feel a little hot. But almost as soon as he thought about it, the heat died away, and he felt fine again.
I might just be nervous. I'll be fine. I've done this hundreds of times before. It's just that, well, this time it counts for something.
He kept this thought in his mind as he crossed the viaduct and headed through Woolchurch Station to the first of the 2 big hills. Trying not to worry about what could happen, he accelerated up the incline, picking up speed as the empty wagons clattered around behind him. Almost before he had realised it, though, he saw Upway signal box ahead. He was halfway there, and despite some slight heat and a twinge of pain in his frames, Andy felt relatively all right as he rounded the station and forged ahead to Upway Bank.
This is it. This is the big challenge. If I can hold it together here, we might be saved.
Andy's engine spluttered and coughed as he raced up the hill. His trucks encouraged him as they trailed behind, knowing how important this journey was to him. Their encouragement was all that he needed, and in no time at all, he finally saw the overbridge and the left-hand curve, signalling the end of the railway's toughest gradient. Hooting his horn and feeling exhilarated, Andy crested Upway Bank and coasted triumphantly through Manston Fort. Victory was as good as his. Zeke looked slightly surprised to see Andy trundling into the yard with the empty trucks. He did, however, smile as Andy came to a stop. Andy, you made it!
Told you I wouldn't let you down.
And indeed you didn't. In that case, I suppose I'd better add you back to the main duty roster. But we're going to go careful, understand? I know you're doing this for the society and for Goose, but please do be careful.
No worries, my dude. I will.
With that, Andy went to roll away. But, though his engine was clearly revving up, he didn't move. Zeke's eyebrows raised. Andy?
Oh God, I don't feel so...
Suddenly, there was an almighty crack, a chemical smell, and a light dusting of smoke forming around Andy. The driver shut down his engine and hastily clambered out of the cab as more smoke began to emit from seemingly underneath the Hymek. What's happened?
I don't know. I went to move his reverser, but it wouldn't budge. And then the temperatures spiked. There's something seriously wrong here.
Andy cried out in pain and frustration.
My hydraulics, you morons! My transmission's gone again. I can't fucking believe this. Right after I proved myself, for fuck's sake. Ow.
I'd better call someone from the society. At least the smoke's dissipating somewhat.
Bet you're happy now, though. Guess the society won't have to put me on the duty roster after all, eh?
Zeke didn't have time to argue with him and walked across to his office while Andy's driver went to check on Andy's engine room and confirm their suspicions. Mr. Chairman was soon on the scene, and he looked devastated as he approached Andy and Zeke.
I came as soon as I heard. Andy, are you all right?
Do I look all right? My transmission and gearbox are destroyed. My generator's ruptured and I have a gaping hole in it. And my hydraulic lines are all compromised. Now tell me if I'm all right. I failed. Not only on a mechanical level, but I failed you too. I honestly don't think that those bozos in the society are going to be able to patch me up this time. And right after I convinced Zeke to give me some more meaningful jobs again. You just can't make this up.
He literally just arrived back here, Chairman. He'd done a great job on his freight train, and I was about to give him another chance. But now, from the assessment of the damage...
What the hell are we going to do? I guess we're just going to have to try and mend you somehow.
Oh, I don't think that will be necessary.
Zeke and Mr. Chairman almost jumped in surprise as Mr. Short arrived on the scene. Andy hissed like a cat as the man approached.
I see the D7070 has finally hit the metaphorical bucket.
Anthony Steele again!
Chums, asshole.
That's quite enough from you.
Now, mate, get fucking bent. I told you all that my mechanical condition was getting worse. We asked you to consider putting Mr. B back in service, but now look, I'm a wreck. It's all the society's fault.
I hardly think that it is. And who is Mr. B?
You know what? I'm done. Fuck you and everything that you stand for, you snivelling little fucking shit.
Mr. Short turned away from Andy, addressing Mr. Chairman, as more members of the society began to arrive. Clearly, news of the failure of their only operational engine had travelled fast.
Well, Mr. Chairman, this puts us in yet another situation, does it not?
Yes, it absolutely does. A very bad one.
Not so bad, really. D7070 has proven to be a very unreliable machine. Perhaps it is for the best that it has failed. Ah, well, at the very least, we still have that diesel shunter. We can put it back into service, can we not? I am certain that Mr. Dark here would offer us some shunting duties up at that quarry.
Would I? Mr. Short didn't hear this exchange.
And on a more positive note, our finances have taken a boost recently. Seems that we had an injection of funds from somewhere, though as to where I am still investigating. But of course it does not matter. It is just about enough for the society to continue fueling the shunter, is it not?
Well, yeah, you see, about that.
Yes, of course. We have that shunting diesel, don't we?
Oh yeah, we could get it back into service quite quickly, couldn't we?
There's nothing mechanically wrong with it, is there? We're saved.
Mr. Chairman looked hopelessly at the men as he tried to find words.
Well, no, we're not.
But why ever not?
Because I sold Mr. B months ago to help raise more funds for the society. Where do you think that money came from? I made a decision as the chairman of the society to do the right thing, and it was the right thing to do for us at the time.
There were angry cries from the members present. Even Andy looked quite shocked, having had no knowledge that Mr. B had been sold.
You sold one of our locomotives without consulting us?
You undermined the society?
Our last hope! Gone! What were you thinking? Oh, come on now, gentlemen, get off your high horses. None of you really cared about Mr. B after his accident. None of you have shown him any sort of attention in recent times. And hell, you didn't even notice he was gone until just now. Shows how much you cared about him.
What does it matter if we care about an engine? It's a machine, Chairman. A machine built to do as we ask of it. Why should we care about its feelings?
Because, like it or not, Mr. Shaw, these machines have feelings. They have just as much right as you or me to protest or speak out against injustice or in any other cases have any opinion about how we operate them, as I tried to explain to you last time.
But we own them. They have to do as we tell them.
So you see them as slaves?
Well, the boot fits.
Asshats.
This is ridiculous. How are we supposed to continue operating the society without any motive power?
You managed beforehand, you know, when the society was set up to support my railway?
The society back then was much bigger. This congregation is all about the members we have left. I seem to remember that you yourself left the society a while ago, Mr. Dark.
Yes, because I could see what it was dissolving into, and I was correct. A bunch of children wanting to play with their toy trains. Why do you really think that I have been preventing contracts being drawn up between myself and the society? Because you do nothing to assist with the preservation of the Dark Railway.
So what you're saying, that all of the work that we have done at Belgrave was for nothing, was it?
All of the work? Most of the manpower came from people who had already left the society and had joined the Dark Railway Company itself. I seem to recall that you all boasted about how much you had done when most of that work had to be redone by my staff. So do yourself a favour and don't bullshit me.
I've never heard this accusation before.
Of course not, because before now, I've been giving you all a chance to change your ways and prove to me that you could pull yourselves together and improve for the sake of the Dark Railway. But you did not. This afternoon has proven how little you care about your cause, and especially how much you really care about your rolling stock. I respect each and every one of my locomotives, and they respect me in turn. I care about them and their well-being as much as I care about whether they're hauling a train or not. Not one of you have asked Andy how he is, besides Mr. Chairman. He has more to do with the operation of the engines than any of you lot.
Well, if we had been given more contracts and opportunities to show what we can do, we would have done more.
And how are we supposed to upkeep our rolling stock with no money?
We cannot. As simple as that. Now, my suggestion from this point onwards would be to get Andy safe undercover and get back to our roots and dig in. More fundraisers, recruit more members, and try to take up more of these unpleasant jobs around the railway to help out. And
But we don't want to do those kind of things anymore.
Not now that we've had a taste of actual railway operations.
You expect us to go back to cutting weeds and breaking our backs on ballast laying?
And our fundraisers never yield any results, because anything we raise goes back into paying off the society debts.
Indeed it does. Now my suggestion as treasurer of this society would be to redouble our efforts and attempt to get D7070 back into service without delay. We can most likely bodge it together with some duct tape and...
Oh, no, you won't. You come near me with that fucking duct tape and I'll fire one of my cylinders through the middle of your fucking face.
Mr. Short, we couldn't possibly repair Andy with the capital that we have left, and we can't send him anywhere else for a repair. It would be just too expensive.
Then why don't we just appeal to Mr. Dark here? I've heard so much about your working relationship. Surely he would do this for you, Mr. Chairman.
I would. For Mr. Chairman.
There we are then. A good little loan to repair the diesel will go a long way to...
Oh, I think you misunderstood me, Mr. Short.
Excuse me?
I said that I would. For Mr. Chairman. In the singular. I would, of course, be happy to give Mr. Chairman a loan, if needs came to it, but not the society. In fact, the manner in which you have spoken to me, Mr. Chairman, and Andy today, has cemented my position on the whole matter, and it is very simple. Henceforth, from this moment onwards, I, Lord Zeke Dark, hereby cease any association with the Dark Railway Preservation Society, and therefore prohibit said organisation from carrying out any duties on the railway and land that I own thereof.
I don't understand.
Then let me give it to you in layman's terms. You're done. I'm kicking the society out. You're gone.
But you can't do that.
Can't I? This is my land after all. Tell me, how many months of unpaid rent are there at Gallon Junction, Mr. Chairman?
I'd say about 13 months.
And there is, currently, no way that the society, as a whole, can pay that back, correct?
That assumption is indeed correct. There's no doubt we can't pay it back.
Well, there you have it then. The society is not only in debt with the bank, but with myself as well, and therefore I have the right to prohibit you and the other members from accessing your assets and land until the debt is repaid in full. And that's not likely now, is it, Mr. Short?
Well,
Fuck you, dude.
Don't, Andy. There's no need for that.
Andy subsided, and Mr. Short pulled himself together.
Well, in that case, I would like to call upon all remaining members of the society present here today, which, from what I can see, is all of us. And I'd like to call an annual general meeting immediately to discuss not only the potential voting in of a new chairman, but to also discuss our future as a society going forward.
No.
Sorry?
No. We are not holding a meeting. What is the point? There are 8 of us left. That's hardly a society, is it? At most, it's a gathering.
He's right. What's the use? We're done. That's it. It's over.
Don't think like that, gentlemen.
We've lost all our members in the past 2 years. All of our equipment is broken. And we have nothing to show for ourselves anymore.
I think, gentlemen, that we are done here. I therefore call for the disbandment of the society. We have lives to get on with, and if Mr. Dark is adamant that we are not welcome, then it's best that we leave it here and move on.
Very well said. All in favor of disbanding the Dark Railway Preservation Society, effective immediately.
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye. Oh wait, I don't count, apparently.
Well then, gentlemen, I think that settles it then. As part of our constitution, I'm chairman of the Dark Railway Preservation Society. I hereby decree and ratify that our organization is no more. I will, of course, work to settle any outstanding debts owed and to see that any of our affairs are taken care of. That will be all, gentlemen.
He nodded courteously at the men as they began to walk away. Mr. Short shouted after them.
You can't just give up. We still have so much that we can do. As treasurer, I demand your return.
He turned to Zeke.
Surely, Mr. Dark, you can't just throw us out on the streets. What about my job? What else will I do after this? Surely you must have a job going somewhere for someone like me.
Absolutely fucking not. In fact, after today's event, Mr. Short, you are hereby banned.
Banned?
Banned. Banned from coming anywhere near my railway or my land ever again. And if you don't want to comply, I'm certain that the police can enforce it if needs be.
What?
You heard the man. Now scram. Go on, get out.
So that's it then. The society is no more. Gosh, what am I going to do though?
If you need to clear the debts, Chairman, you know what I said. I have money.
Well, I do appreciate the gesture, Zeke. I really do, but I have to do this for myself. I have failed as the chairman, and I don't want to resort to taking the easy route out of this and be in debt to someone I consider a friend. I must get to work.
But, Chairman?
I will, however, ask Zeke if you allow me some time to sort this. I know we've already trespassed on your hospitality for long enough now.
Of course. You don't have to leave. I'm perfectly happy for you to personally remain and see to the society's affair for as long as you need. And you know that I do not actually expect any money from you for the society's unpaid rent.
Well, that's very kind of you, Zeke, but I intend to clear all our debts. I must take action and do what is right. Could you, at the very least, ask someone to take Andy back over to the sheds? He's been through enough already today.
Yeah, I can do that. And with that, Mr. Chairman left, looking dishevelled and worn out. Zeke turned to Andy. Andy,
I know, Zeke.
You and the others can stay as long as you need to. But Mr. Chairman has made it quite clear that he doesn't want my help on this one. I'll see if someone can take you to the sheds.
Cheers.
Zeke also left, leaving Andy slightly shaken as the adrenaline in his system waned and the realization of what had just happened fully sunk in. The Dark Railway Society was gone. His own group had essentially abandoned him and Goose and all of their coaches and wagons to rot. This cemented his feelings that they had never truly cared about any of them, and as others had said, only intended to remain if they could play with their trains and pretend to care about the railway. Broken and battered, Andy stood mournfully, thinking, until Ryan showed up to take him to the sheds. Are you all right, Andy? Andy couldn't muster up the strength to speak. Ryan saw this and said no more as he slowly took Andy back to the sheds, the little diesel engine lamenting on the situation and what that could potentially mean for his future.
Dad!
You didn't. When the cops get here, you have to be gone. You ate them. I believe you had to. You were born this way.
You thought I was the only one?
Bones and all. To know our only Peter's Thanksgiving.
So I just got this candle from Hotel Collection. I had some friends over last night, and all of them were absolutely in love with it, asking how I got my place to literally smell like a hotel. It's safe for children and pets, it burns for hours, and you can even pick which 5-star hotel you want it to smell like. The candle I got is my way, and it smells exactly like the one hotel in Miami. I definitely recommend checking them out.
Wrong. My father had a best friend whom he had known for years. This friend was sterile and asked my father for a donation. Dad agrees on the condition he not be involved in the child's life, since he was already with my mum and had another child in the form of my older sister Lily. The friend agrees and the donation happens. They have a daughter named Petunia. Unfortunately, the friend died when she was 4 months old. Petunia's mother later marries a very rich man, and that's that. Fast forward 16 years and Petunia finds Dad on Facebook and demands to see him. He's careful and tries to get hold of her mother. No luck. Then one day, Petunia shows up with a bunch of bags. Petunia's parents had dumped her on us for the summer. She spent the entire time making our lives miserable because we couldn't afford the things she's used to. All attempts to contact her mother are ignored because they're on vacation in Europe. Dad doesn't want to call the police because he feels bad for Petunia. Petunia leaves and we think/hope she'll stay away. Nope. She shows up 3 years later with a baby and tries to get Lily to babysit because you're the oldest. You're old enough to have kids of your own, so this will be good practice for you. Lily declines. She doesn't actually like children and says something along the lines of, the only babies I will ever care for are them, meaning her cats. Petunia refuses to accept this and keeps hounding her to babysit because we're family. Lily flat out tells her, you can't pull that card on me. I said no, and I mean it. She tries to pull this stunt on all of us, but fails. This leads to angry rants on Facebook about how we're ruining her life and keeping her from enjoying her youth. Again, this is ignored. Now we come to the main issue. 2 days ago, Petunia showed up at the house claiming she wanted to talk to Dad. No one else was home and he told her to wait in the living room as he wouldn't be long. He finished what he was doing and came back to find she was gone. He just shrugged it off. Mum and Lily come home an hour later, and when Dad mentioned the visit, they all thought it was weird. An hour later, I come home and Lily was frantically looking for her cats. It's assumed they got out when Petunia came over, or she let them out. Lily is having a full-on panic attack, and Dad ends up calling an ambulance because she passed out. She ends up in the hospital, and Mum stays with her. Meanwhile, me and Dad keep looking for the cats. I'm keeping in contact with Mum via text, and she lets me know Lily is being admitted for observation. Dad and I are terrified because we know if we don't find those cats, or worse, find them dead, Lily will go downhill. Right when we're about to give up, we get a call from my older brother. I'm sure it won't surprise anyone to learn Petunia had taken the cats during her visit. She had taken them to a shelter, the one he worked at, claiming the cats needed to be put down. He didn't see Petunia turn them in because he was in the back, but he recognized the fur balls and got Dad to come get them. Now Dad is working on filing a lawsuit for stolen property and the harm she's done to Lily. The icing on the cake was when Dad texted Petunia to ask why she did it. She claimed, because now Lily can babysit without worrying about those horrible creatures. Smiley face. Jesus, tap dancing Christ. This girl is absolutely vile. If you want to enjoy your youth, don't get knocked up, you cow. And don't steal other people's pets when you don't get your way. It was bloody lucky she took them to the same shelter Opie's brother worked at. What are the odds? I'm glad that Dad is filing a lawsuit. He should. This brat deserves to have the book thrown at her. There are a couple of updates to this post, so let's see if that did happen. Lily is back home. Yay! The doctors ran a number of tests on her. They told my parents the stress caused something called broken heart syndrome, which she is now on medication for. Dad asked if this could have killed her, and the doctor basically said it was very close to a heart attack. Dad filed a police report and Petunia was arrested. But it gets better. When they caught her, she was apparently on probation for a DUI. And get this, she had a ticket to Italy in her bag, leading the officers to safely assume she was trying to flee the country. This was against her probation. Not only that, my brother was able to go back to the shelter and found the login sheet for the day she turned in the cats. She had signed Lily's name. Now we're looking at a possible case of fraud. A restraining order has been put into the works, with every member of my immediate family being placed on it so she can't contact us. Her mother and stepfather are threatening to sue us for harassment, since apparently it's our fault she's now in custody. To protect ourselves further, we've deleted all forms of social media. Update 2. The case against Petunia is still ongoing. Although her family threatened to sue us, nothing has happened. I honestly don't think any attorney would take their case given Lily ended up in the hospital. Plus, they're now facing jail time. They had tried to buy Petunia's freedom. When that didn't work, they tried to bribe us into dismissing the charges. Then we started getting threats. We've since moved in with another family in an effort to get away from them. The baby they were trying to foist onto my sister has now been taken in by the father and his family because, shock, neither Petunia nor her parents were seen as fit guardians. Petunia has been sent to prison for driving on a suspended license, multiple DUIs, child endangerment, theft, assault, extortion, and a whole list of other things. Not sure if there will be any further charges against her because of her family, but frankly, I don't care. After this is over, I'm done. I'm not surprised. Opie and her family have gone through a lot. Petunia's parents sound like the kind of people that are used to getting their way. I'm willing to bet that's because they have, thanks to their money. I'm glad it hasn't worked out this time and that Petunia got done in. What a complete bitch. Which is kind of amazing considering her bio father, Opie's dad, sounds like a good man. Does this prove upbringing and not biology determines one's behavior, or is it a combination of both? I have no idea. What do you guys think? Sound off in the comments below. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.
Alright, well, I already kind of got the half an hour, about the hour. That's good, that's good. That's good. Okay, guys. If you have any figures. Already got 5 o'clock. Anyway. You down to eat lunch? Nope. Anyway, Jersey.